For nearly 2 decades, Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, has been plagued by religious uprising. This led to loss of lives, families, homes, property, and even businesses. Human trafficking also became rife against the backdrop of this gory picture, which has been painted on the canvas of a nation with so much potential and opportunities. About 1.6 million people have been displaced in 2015, out of which about 1.4 were children. A sad reality which has given Nigeria the semblance of an insecure nation without walls. Media Village Nigeria, a ministry of youth with a mission, has responded to God's call to rebuild these broken walls of Nigeria's society. The walls that have been broken down by different social vices like this prevalent issue of religious crisis giving rise to human trafficking.
Boko Haram has really destroyed our families. They destroy our houses. They destroy my father's shop, and they kill one of my uncles, and they kill one of my uncle's wife.
Okay, Boko Haram burned my father's house, and then they killed my father, and they separate me from my family.
It is the burden for the plight of the displaced people that moved Favor Dalok.
My motivation to reach the IDPs came from the challenge I got and stories told me by a clergyman who is also a Waiwama. He narrated to me how their church leadership visited the camps in Yola, Adama State and Maiduguri in Borno State. The state of the youths he saw was what moved me. The devastation of their lives as a result of the attacks and killings carried out by Boko Haram. Though many well-meaning Nigerians, churches and ministries visited the camps and donated food and clothing to the IDPs, but the hopelessness that comes from knowing their schools, homes, and sources of livelihoods are being destroyed, and even their parents and guardians are gone as a result, continues. We enroll them into the Discipleship Training School, DTS. DTS is a 6-month intensive Christian course designed to encourage students to know God and to make Him known. So we brought in 15 of the IDPs from Yola camp and took them through psychosomatic trauma healing process, then the discipleship program, where they had lectures for 3 months, during which we provided feeding, clothing, medicals, and also paid their way to do their field assignment around Jos and Togo for 3 months. We felt burdened to do more, to take it from feeding and clothing to rebuilding their lives. We all know what a dying man needs is hope, a reason to live. So using our platform as YWAM, because we operate through evangelism and frontier missions, training and discipleship, and also mercy ministry, we began to pray and trust God on how to respond to the IDP youths in camps doing nothing.
The journey towards rebuilding has been a daunting task.
One of the challenges we encountered was most of them are educationally backward, though all of them have passed through high school and even few higher institutions, but reading and comprehension was difficult for them. So we needed to include learning tools to improve our approach and also cope with discipling them. We still need resource persons to solve this. Majorly, we have need of funding. Seeing that we are a faith-based organization, we need funds for the discipleship program we are running for them. for their feeding, medicals, clothing, cost of accommodation, and cost of taking them to do their field assignment. Also, we need funding for the next phase of our training for them.
Despite the challenges, Favor has seen enough successes which motivate her to keep moving with the vision to rehabilitate and disciple the 200 internally displaced people.
The successes we recorded are tremendous. 14 of them successfully completed the DTS. They have been healed. God has healed them totally. They are no longer hurting and holding on to what Boko Haram did to them. God has made out of them ministers and missionaries. When I visited them in Togo where they were doing their field assignment, I was overwhelmed. Tears of joy filled my eyes as I saw God using them to transform people with the gospel, healing many, and impacted the communities they serve.
DTS teach me how to forgive, and I learned many things in the DTS.
The thing that happened to me in DTS is that DTS really helped me to forgive Boko Haram. Before, I said that I will never forgive Boko Haram. In fact, there is a time that I pray that let God kill all the Boko Haram. But the time that I come to DTS really helped me to forgive, and now I forgive them. I was praying that let God send them.
When the IDPs came, there was sadness, gloomy, sorrow because of what they have gone through. But after the DTS, there was joy, there was focus, and then some of them, because of what God has done and the grace that God has worked in their life and the changes that have taken place, they are even willing to become preachers. And some are ready to even go back and preach, not just to their community, but if possible to the Boko Harams.
The work of rebuilding the broken walls cannot be done without partnerships. Media Village Nigeria is inviting you to get involved.
After the DTS, we are sending them back to regain the missionary efforts over decades that has been destroyed in the northeast Nigeria. Also, the second phase of the training, we intend to run a 6-month computer course for them. We have received donations of computers. Again, we will include other skill acquisition programs like arts and crafts. Basically, our goal is to empower them so that they will be self-reliant when they go back to their communities. We currently have a land that we intend to turn into a farm for therapy to enhance trauma healing process. Then we will also build a facility there for the skill acquisition program. People can get involved by funding the cost of the discipleship training school. You can adopt one or some IDPs and pay their tuition for the lecture phase and the field assignment where they have to travel to another country to do their outreach. You can also give towards their feeding, clothing, and medical bills. People can adopt and fund the skill acquisition for those IDPs that have gone through the DTS.
Let your peace be within our walls, and your security between our towers. Psalm 122, verse 7.